Hi, I just wanted to discuss the asymmetry of left and right, if you want to use those ways of characterizing the political spectrum. Now, what I mean by that is why it is so hard for the right to really understand what the left is saying. The right, in all its various permutations, at core, I mean, what is the common characteristic shared by all the many shades of point of view that can be characterized as the right? It's an us versus them point of view. It's a point of view that's predicated on the notion that there is a hierarchy. Some belong on top, some belong on the bottom. Us against them. It's predicated on domination and on difference. Usually the difference is the person on the right happens to be in the us group that belongs on top of the them group. There's rulers and ruled, and fortunately I'm one of the rulers. That tends to be the point of view. Now this, on the other hand, is the opposite of the core guiding insight of the left. Now I don't mean that people on the left always feel this way. I mean that when they are being what makes them of the left, they feel this way. I mean, people on the left can be just as selfish and jerky and you know dishonest and everything else as people on the right. I mean, they're just human beings. But to the extent they have an ideology that they agree with, even though they don't always live up to it, it's based on the opposite of domination. It's based on equality. I mean, the right-wing view of freedom, usually they like to call it by the word liberty, is leave me alone so I can run around and do what I want, which includes using my power to screw you over. Liberty is not a zero-sum game for them. That if I win, you lose. Freedom is if I get my freedom, you don't get yours. Because liberty means leave me alone so I can use what I have, which happens to be a lot more than you have, and I can dominate you. But on the left, freedom and equality are not in tension, but rather you have to have them both. You can't really have freedom without equality, because without equality, your freedom means I don't have any, or my freedom means you don't have any. Freedom has to be freedom for everybody. See, the core notion of the left is equality and democracy, not in some sense of a particular political structure, like liberal democracy, which I would argue isn't really democracy at all. I think a representative government where people vote is just on a way to democracy. The core democratic notion is that we all count and we all have to be part of the game. And everybody is part of the game. It's the opposite of domination, okay? Now, if you have a right-wing point of view, us against them, hierarchy, there's rulers and the ruled, you can't believe that unless you think everyone believes that. So you have to think that is the natural order of the universe. No one says, it's not the natural order of the universe that there's better and worse, top and bottom, ruler and ruled, but I'm going to make it that way anyway. No one's that. No one buys into an ideology that says there is no such thing as hierarchy, but we like to make one. It's always based on the view that hierarchy is the order of nature. It's the way it has to be. And therefore, everyone has to accept it. So if you buy into a right-wing ideology, you think the left must have the mirror image view of domination. Not that they don't believe in domination. The right thinks the left believes in domination. It's the them that dominates instead of the us. They think the left has got the order of ruler and ruled screwed up, and that the ruled flip over and rule the rulers, or they flip the people on the bottom to control the people on the top, because the right really cannot conceive of a world without domination. And that's why it's very difficult on the left to have a discussion with someone on the right, because they never hear what you're saying. Or they hear what you're saying, but they always twist it into, oh, you're saying the same thing as me, only upside down. You're playing the same game as me. You're just on the other side of the field. Whereas the left is saying, no, we don't like that game, and we think that game is a mistake. Okay, just a short thought on that. And I'm sure many of you will be angry and think I'm wrong.